Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. Take a seat, listen to your phone, look at your telly, do what you need today as we're here to discuss the latest Rangers news. And it's not just Rangers related news, this time Nana involves Celtic, and if we're being honest with you, it obviously involves Scottish football, as the most thing, or what Scottish football is known for, is the Old Firm. That's what people talk about. That's what people want to discuss the majority of the time. For elsewhere, when they think of Scottish football, they think of the Old Firm, and that is our crown jewel. Well, we're here to talk about some news that's heavily featuring involving both. And it's funny, right? Because I've spent the entire week, I'm like the person for Encanto. I don't want to talk about the Old Firm. No. I've no wanted to talk about it because there's a massive game for Rangers Zamora against Hibs. Difficult game, difficult opponent. I wanted nothing but the full focus to be on Hibs. Then we can beat them. Then we could take the 3 points, and then we can go ahead and talk about the old firm drama. But this news came out a couple of days earlier than I wanted it to actually come. So now I'm becoming a hypocrite, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to talk about something I didn't want to talk about quite yet. But obviously it's involving Rangers, it's involving Scottish football, and that's what we discuss right here on the channel. We're here to talk about the Old Firm ticket allocations and it going up. And I'm in a very interesting position because there is a lot of people that does this type of stuff and they never pay attention to the comment section. They just put their voice out there because that's what they're interested in, and then they just allow others to talk amongst themselves. But I read 99.9% of the comments that come in. I interact with you, as you know. So I know there is a lot of people that's going to have very mixed, strong feelings about that. And what I would love is for you to watch today's video if you want to get involved in it and enjoy it. Hopefully it's decent enough, but genuinely let me know, because I didn't want you to hear what I have to say and then say, oh well, if CJ said that, I'll no fire in my opinion. No, you can let it know, because I know there is two completely different mindsets going into this news. On one hand, you will have some supporters very upset about the news about the ticket allocations going up, because again, I've read comments, I've seen it. People like the more ticket allocations to Rangers fans as they go. We're given more of a chance to get to see an Old Firm at Ibrox. They liked that. Some on the other side of the same argument liked the fact that there was very little Celtic fans there, because you could really stick the bit in and it was a complete home atmosphere, and it should truly have home field advantage if we're using an American sports term. I get there's people out there. But then there's the other side, ladies and gentlemen, that's thought that the Old Firm fixture, the best derby in my personal opinion in world football, has sort of lost its way over the last couple of years because of the ticket slashes, because of the lack of fans in the stadium, because of the lack of the true atmosphere that really puts Scottish football on the map. Because we're pulling it back to the intro, ladies and gentlemen. People from down south, people from different countries know of Scottish football because they've seen the videos, they've seen the stands, they've seen the away fans in home stands taking over. They've seen the atmosphere that can only be created by both Rangers and Celtic fans. And look, yeah, I know you've heard me say it a million times, but for me it's the biggest and best rivalry in sports. And I say in sports, not just in football, not just in Scottish football. I'm talking about anything. Rangers and Celtic just has too much history, too much drama. It's built into the DNA of the actual fixture. There's a different bite, there's a different fight, there's a different level of hatred in the old tie. And look, I'm not sitting here glorifying violence or encouraging violence off the park. You know what I'm talking about right here. I'm talking about on the park. That's what we talk about here. We're a football channel. We talk about the football. When I watch Rangers versus Celtic, that's what they've got. There's just a hatred in the play. There's just different levels of tackles. The intensity is completely different. That rivalry, that hatred, if you will, is completely null and void when you watch other derby games, especially down south. You watch some of those ones where they're all best pals, they're hugging each other before and after the game. And I know I sound like that old man ranting at the moon right now. I get what you're all saying, but that's no a rivalry for me. I can't take that nonsense serious when they're all being best pals and everything like that. You know what I mean? I know I'm maybe too old school these days, but I like what I get for the Old Firm. It's two sets of players, two sets of teams, sorry. They line up 1v1 and it's a battle. Every single one of them has a battle and every single one of them needs to go and win that battle, or the entire thing fails. It is an entire 11 versus an entire 11, and it's an intensity level that's just right up here. And again, when you've been getting that in the park over the last couple of years, what made Scottish football really what it is, what gets people talking for down south and everything like that, is with the way the fans would get involved, because they would add something so special to an already special game that everyone, even the ones that look down on Scottish football, hold their hands up and say that there you just can't replicate, and we've been robbed of that over the last couple of years. And I know I'll get a bit of flack for it and probably get a lot of crap for it down in the comment section below from the ones that do like it being a full house at Ibrox, being all Rangers fan, getting opportunities to get the game, completely understand. But I just think as a spectacle of a game, to add that extra layer of spice to an already spicy game, you need both sets of fans there, and that's what truly makes it what it needs to be. And if we want to continue to be the best derby in football, if we want to continue to have the greatest rivalry in football, this is what the Old Firm needs. And for me, it's the start of a process to get back to where the game should be. And I know there's a lot of bites and folk arguing and chasing their own tails round and round. Well, you know how it started, you did it this, we've done it because of this. I'm no interested in how it started or how it's gone or anything like that. All I'm interested in the beginning now of rebuilding and getting the game back to the spectacle that it needs to be. Not only from just a fan perspective, but you've heard now from numerous players, both sides, numerous managers, both sides, the bite that gets added, the players get that extra 10-15%, and it doesn't always need to be all cheers and everything like oh, everyone being excited. No, they need the nip, they need the rivalry, they need the crap for the opposition fans to G them up as well. So I genuinely think we've been robbed. Now, there's been some good games and some good moments over the last couple of years. It was interesting watching Tavernier silence an entire Parkhead with that free kick, but the way the game ended, there wasn't anything really for there. There has been unique moments and unique memories created, but I think for the majority, well, this is a welcome change, and it's good to see the rivalry getting back to where it needs to be, and again, the Old Firm getting back to what's needed, and that's Old Firm fans in and amongst the stadium, making the atmosphere as toxic, if you will, as possible. Now, before we get to the nooks and crannies of obviously the increase of what this means, etc, etc, I just think, almost from a selfishly point of view as well, how many times we've heard players that signed for either side of the Old Firm be talked up, and one of the main selling points is obviously not only European nights, playing in front of 52,000, 60,000 on the Celtic end, but one of the main runs is they want to play in the atmosphere because that's what they hear, the Jermaine Defoes and everything. Guys, it's been there and been part of English derbies. You've heard the Graham Souness's talk. He's planted a flag in Turkish football, which is crazy, but still he talks it up there, and there's players, and there's even like Segera when he's came up here. There was always a fascination about Scottish football, and that's because of the fans. But let's go ahead and continue talking about the fans then, shall we? Because whether or not you're in favour or you're not against it, the increase is going to be happening from the next season onwards, as there's a 5% increase being given to the fans. So that's like 2,500 at Ibrox, and obviously around about 3, I think, if I'm doing my quick maths correctly, round about there in terms of Parkhead. Now, it's not going back to the old allocation, what used to be with like the 7,500 where you take over an entire stand. We're not there or anything like that, and I guess that's a completely different argument if you want to see it get back to that level. But I think this is a good starting block, and I'm glad that everyone's just cleared the heads, let the egos go, and reward the fans with the opportunity to go to Parkhead and cheer on their team and give them that extra 10-15%, and obviously unfortunately gives the Celtic fans an opportunity to come to Ibrox and cheer them on the extra 15%, which I'm not happy with, ladies and gentlemen. But again, that hatred might just spur on the Rangers players and get them going as well. So just to answer any quick questions in case you're too lazy to go ahead and check it, didn't blame you, as there's a lot of reading, a lot of nonsense these days fired out by the media. It's not the old allocation of the 7,500, it's a 5% of the stadium allocation, which is around 2,500 at Ibrox and round about 3,000 at Parkhead. So that's how it's laying out. Now, the only other part of the conversation we've not discussed before we wrap up today's video is the whole safety concern stuff and the argument that brings up. And for me, a lot of the examples that's getting used and a lot of the hyperbolic crap that's getting fired out there has nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? I know we're the bad guys according to Hibs and everything like that, and we're the bad gens, blah, 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 but it's no us throwing corkscrews that's basically got bottle opener, that's basically got an edge on a knife at Lawrence Shankland when he's taking a penalty. Do you remember that? That had nothing a day with us. The stuff that's else getting done, I mean, throwing pies and everything, it's been mental, some of the stuff that's been done recently, and I know that's getting chucked in and it's getting blamed on both the old firm, but that's had nothing to do with us. And for me, I think it's pretty simple, you know what I mean? I just feel like adults should be adults, and we should be mature, and we should be responsible. That's all this actually needed. And 99.9% of people that will be going to these games, home or away, are there to cheer the team that they love, to sing songs, to back the team, to try and give them extra. That is their lives. That is what they work their arse off Monday to Friday for, to go and watch their team. So to blame and to try and limit and rob them of their happiness and their one outlet of working every single day of their lives because of a 1% or a 0.1% of just idiots, in my opinion. You can't blame anybody. I mean, it wasn't us that was throwing corkscrews or anything like that. It wasn't us that done this, and I'm sure Celtic's been blamed. I didn't really pay attention on that side, but I'm sure they've been blamed for stuff as well. I think we just need to be responsible adults, which we are. We're there to cheer on and sing and have fun and support the team we love. So the safety concerns argument that's neeping out of the heads about Rangers and Celtic and everything like that, I think it just needs to go to the wayside. It's the best derby in football. It's the best rivalry in football. There's nothing like the Old Firm. Let's get it back and let's get us making some money as well, because this league is miles behind. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions truthfully down there in the comments section below. And that's truthfully it, ladies and gentlemen. The next time you see me, we'll be looking at Hibs, and I'm buzzing at the fact there's players available. The likes of Sima, Dujon, Stellan being back in and amongst training is absolutely sensational to hear. Now, granted, they're not quite ready to play 90 minutes yet, but it's a massive boost for this football club, and it does leave us in a very interesting position. Get over the Hibs bump. Didn't have one eye on Celtic. Didn't be focusing on Celtic. Get over this Hibs bump now at the weekend and just charge in and do your job at home. Win the game. And it could be a very, very successful season. And just to give you a wee update as well, as we won't be making an individual preview on Hibs, another player that's back in and amongst training is Kieran Dowell. Yeah, Kieran Dowell, who's missed 38 games this season, and Ridvan will be ruled out of tomorrow's game, but there's a chance he'll make it for the Old Firm, and every single Rangers fan on this planet knows what a difference that'll be going into that Old Firm with Ridvan rather than Barisic. But that's truthfully all I've got to say. I wanted to talk about the biggest news that's happening right now and get my thoughts and opinions out there. I agree with it. It's about time it starts getting back at it, both home and away. I think it'll be a betterment. What about you? And as always, I've been CJ92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and bye-bye.